All right, this is a little bit better. So today, today was a good day. You feel me? I journaled. Well, first of all, I prayed. That's always a good way to start your day. Prayer. If you start your day off with prayer, thanking God, and honestly, just doing that alone sets you up for a good day. Sets you up, to be all right. What else I do? Uh, I journaled. Wrote down some things. I don't even know where it's in my book bag. I forget what I journaled about. I wasn't fully locked in when I was journaling, but it's okay because it's the fact that still I still journal, right? I went to a Bible study. I guess it's not really a Bible study. It's more like a dialect. Yeah, that's more a biblical dialect. That's what it is. For me, gained a new perspective, and I realized this too. When I got home, I'm talk on the ride home. I'm talking with my mom. I'm asking her. I'm like, is it okay to lie and tell people like you're okay when you're not okay? And she said it's a protection thing, and I'm like, yeah, it's protection in some cases, but in my position, it's like I don't know if it's really protection. Am I really protecting myself if I'm always doing it? If it's a natural response to how to when people ask me, "Are you okay?" and I say, "Yeah, I'm good" all the time, is that really defense? What am I defending against? What am I really defending myself against by just saying, "Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm okay." When in all reality, I'm not okay. Some days it'd be a bad day, and I understand. Not everything. It don't always be like a horrible day or nothing like that. But sometimes I really just don't be okay. And like in that not being okay, I've been not okay for so long. I became okay with not being okay. Like, and I know that sounds crazy. That sounds like cliche. And that's the thing. It's also cliche, like, or cringe, whatever you want to call it. It's all just so kind of corny in a sense. Like, it's just like, dang, like, it's like being emo in a sense. Like, you kind of just get used to that. Yeah, I'm okay, and just sitting off in a corner type beat, like, and it's like I'm not like that intentionally. I'm not intentionally. Sometimes I am, cause sometimes I just don't want to be bothered. That's just human nature. But it's more often than not. I find myself in a space where I'm either I'm either self isolating, self medicating, self. I find myself more often than not in a place by myself in solitude alone. Excuse me. Whether or not I could be in a crowd full of people, and if I really want to, I have it's a mental thing, of course. But I put myself in a mental space where I'm just by myself. And sometimes it gets to the point where it's lonely. And it's like, why am I putting myself in a mental space where I'm lonely? Why am I putting myself through that? And sometimes it's pride, it's my pride getting in the way. That's never a good thing. Pride is not a good thing all the time, and people try to say like, "Oh, you shouldn't kill your pride." In my position, I should definitely I should definitely kill my pride because I don't need to be prideful. And honestly, it might get me a lot more places being humble, and I guess I'm humble, but it's like I'm pridefully humble. So is it really humble if I'm being prideful in being humble? What is that? If I'm prideful, but I'm also humble, what is that? It's a contradiction, is what it is. But what is that contradiction? There has to be a word for that. There has to be a word for that position where you're humble, but you're not, but you're overly humble. I guess I don't know. I'm not a full on philosopher. I'm not a full time philosopher yet. So, but I don't know. I just that seems like a lot of the times where I find myself. It's like I'm trying so hard to be humble and just stay out the way and not be a burden on people to where I'm burdening myself. And I don't know, I've gotten okay with that. I've gotten okay with just, oh yeah, I'm good. I don't need help. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need it. I don't need I don't need it. Just anything. Whatever it is, somebody could be, of course, this is an exaggeration, but somebody could be offering me $1 million. And I'm gonna say, I'm not, well, no, I couldn't say that. I can't say that. I can't even lie on camera and say that, bro. But let's think something realistic. If I'm hungry and somebody asks me, yo, bro, you ate? I'ma say, yeah, I'm good. I'ma say, yeah, I'm not hungry. You feel me? And they ask me if I ate, not if I'm hungry. But if they ask me if I ate, I'ma say, yeah. I'm gonna keep it a whole buck. I'm gonna be like, yeah, I ate. I'm good. I'm hungry. See, I can't lie on camera. But what I'm saying is, if somebody offered me and they was like, yo, bro, you hungry? And it's like, I don't know. I guess sometimes my pride will automatically kick in and just say, yeah, I'm good. I'm not hungry. I'm good. I'm good. You feel me? And it's like whole time it's like, bro, they just offering you something to eat. You feel me? And it's like, I don't know necessarily how to stop it. You feel me? And I know I gotta surrender. I guess I do know how to stop it. I gotta surrender my heart to Jesus and let Him take control of my heart. And I thought I did. I really thought I did. That's where I'm really lost at. I really thought I gave my heart to God and like let Him have control. You feel me? I asked Him to change my heart. And maybe I just need to do that more. Just keep asking Him to change my heart. Because of course at one time I didn't realize that, my pride was in the way. I didn't realize that I've been acting out of pride for so many years that I can't even get help. I'm saying that like it's okay. I'm just getting my opinions out and my feelings out. But yeah, I'm saying it like, it's okay just to act out of pride and just be in pride, but in all reality, it's suffering. I've been suffering for so long that I ain't gonna say suffering. That's a very strong term. But I've been in this position for so long of acting out of pride and letting my pride take control to where I didn't realize that it was pride, and I didn't realize that it's slowly killing me. It's slowly killing me to the point where it's coming things that could have been resolved years ago, things that could have been fixed and dealt with aren't being dealt with because I'm just so caught up in just being okay. Just saying I'm good. And I don't gotta be like that. Especially in the position I'm in. Okay. I'm really like getting, but I don't have to be like that in the position I'm in, especially with the people I have around me. I no longer have to be so prideful. I no longer have to be such a macho man. I don't have to be like this super tough dude. I don't gotta be like that. I'm allowed to have feelings. I'm allowed to not be okay. Nobody ever said it was wrong to have emotions, but it's okay to not be okay. And sometimes I guess I gotta find the right person to tell these things. To tell I'm not okay. But I don't know how sometimes. That's really the issue. I don't be knowing how to say I'm not okay. Because I be wanting to. I real life be wanting to tell somebody like, yo, bro, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. But some things it's easier just left as not easier if it's bothering me this much. But at the time, it'll seem easier and better to not say whatever is bothering me than it is to say it and get it dealt with. So I'd rather let it eat me up inside. And it won't even feel like it's eating me up. It won't even seem like it's eating me up so much. But I'd rather just sit and let it eat me up and let it control me in a sense, and just deal with it in that way rather than putting it out and putting it on somebody and putting it on somebody else's plate. And I'm not even. I guess you're not even putting it on somebody else's plate. You're just like getting it out, and like maybe somebody else can offer a different perspective. Because, and I mean, like, I don't know, like, not gaining somebody else's perspective, not wanting to gain somebody else's perspective is kind of what's gotten me to this point. And it's not always because, like, somebody else's perspective is a bad thing, but I guess I got to this point kind of just out of fear of somebody judging me, fear of out of somebody not fear, just fear, honestly, fear. And it's been such a big thing that, of course, it's now I'm realizing it. Now I'm realizing, like, these things have been controlling me and, taking a hold of me. But at this point, I don't, it's like, I got a disease that I don't know how to deal with. I don't know, and it's like a disease that nobody has the cure for except for Jesus, of course. Like, and I really had thought. Let's look up a verse. Let's look up a verse for I guess for pride. We're gonna. Why did I open up Pinterest? We're gonna look it up. I don't know what. Well, I guess I could. That's Proverbs, but that's only one proverb. But I mean, Proverbs 16:18 says, "Pride goes before destruction, a haughty spirit before a fall." I mean, that kind of describes basically what I said. Honestly, this is gonna kind of sound. This is gonna once again sound cliche, but before I graduated, in 11th grade, I was cooling. Like, I was in a good position in a sense. I was doing all right. I had a good job. I was making money, just doing my thing. I was ladies man, blah blah blah. That's not necessarily a good thing, but it's an all right thing. I don't know, but I was all right. And then it was like 12th grade year, something happened 12th grade year. A lot of stuff was going on, but something happened 12th grade year to where I just was like, you know what, I'm gonna shut out the world. I'm just gonna shut out the world and let everything be. I'm only gonna worry about me. I'm gonna only focus on my emotions and dwell in my emotions and dwell in my mind. And it was a little bit before that, but it was it was definitely then though. And I was kind of just like stuck. I was so and even now, you feel me? Of course, now I'm kind of coming out of it as I'm coming to this realization, but I was so stuck in my mind and in my own shell that I couldn't even appreciate what was going on around me. And even I'm still like that, I've been like that to this day. To this day I've been like that. And it's not going to change. It's not going to change just because of it's not I had to cut my TV off, but it's not going to change just because I came to this realization at this time, of course, but that was storming. It's not gonna change just because I came to this realization at once, but it's a start. It's definitely a start. And I don't want to be like that no more. I don't want to be so consumed with what is going on internally, because it's hardly ever I can almost say never. It's almost never a situation that's going on externally. It's almost always a situation that I've made up in my head or in my spirit. It's not even in my spirit, but I've made up in my head and in my brain to just go along with, and I kind of what's so crazy about it. What's so crazy about it is I'll go along with it until my it sounds like I'm like to my home, but my mind will trick me sometimes, and it's probably done it a few times, a lot of times, to where it becomes a reality for me. It kind of tricks me into it becoming a reality, and then once it becomes a reality, it's kind of like, oh no, it's too late. This isn't what I wanted. This isn't what this isn't what I wanted to be. This is exactly what I feared. This is exact. And then and I guess that's what happened my senior year. I got so caught up in my 11th grade year. I got introduced to, like, spiritual gifts and stuff like that, and things, manifestations and things like that. So and I'm not saying that that's exactly what it, but it kind of is. I got so caught up in thinking worst case scenario. I wasn't even if manifestation if manifestation was real, I wasn't even manifesting the best things. I was always manifesting when I say manifesting, I'm using that with quotations, but I was always manifesting the worst case scenario. I was never man I was never I was never manifesting the best possible scenario. When it came to girls, I would always, like, with my last girlfriend, I was so worried that she was cheating on me, that she was gonna betray me, that just all these things. And that's not just with her, but that was just with any girl. I was so worried that these girls are gonna betray me. These girls are gonna do something, stab me in my back, and that's not a bad thing to be worried about and be weary of. But I was thinking it so much that I couldn't even, and even just as friends, you feel me? Not even girls I was messing with, but girls I was friends with. I would be so worried that they gonna stab me in the back, or they gonna leave me, or they gonna do this, and that I couldn't even realize, like, yo, I might have actually had some good friends. I might have actually had some good bonds, some good relationships. And it's all a part of learning. It's all a part of life. I guess, that's just something I had to go through at the end of the day. But it's kind of sad I had to go through that to get to this point. I shouldn't have been like that ever. And I guess it came from, like, me dealing with my own insecurities. I was fat. I couldn't dress. I wasn't rich. I'm still not rich. I'm still not rich. I'm still a little bit chubby. I ain't as chubby as I was, but you feel me? I'm still got a little tummy to me. So it was like, it's like I'm still dealing with some of the insecurities that I was at that time. Not as much, not as bad, because I've gotten a lot better than I was at that time. but it's like I'm still dealing with the same the same symptoms, I guess you could say. And I no longer want to deal with those things. I don't want to think my worst case scenario, and I guess I have to just change my perspective and change like how I think about everything, about every situation. You know, I go into a lot of situations expecting the worst, expecting the worst of the worst thing to happen. Like, you feel me? I don't drink, but I'll walk into a bar and think like, bro, somebody gonna get into a drunk fist fight. I'ma get blacked out drunk. You feel me? Just worst case scenario versus thinking like, I might just sit down, have a drink, and call it, and that's it. Just sit down and have a drink and watch whatever's on the TV. You feel me? I'm not thinking that. I'm going in thinking, oh, this dude may jump out his seat, get up and shoot. He might jump out his seat, fly. He might get up out. This dude might get up out his seat, jump across the table, go flying, and stab the other dude in the neck. I'm thinking like police may bust through the door, and I'm just thinking worst case scenario about everything. And then I'll go like whatever wherever I'm at. I'll just go the whole night thinking yo, all this stuff might happen. None of it'll ever happen. None of this stuff will ever happen. The whole night I'm out. Like, I'll be out the whole night. None of this stuff happened. And now I didn't not ruined, but sometimes I've ruined whole hangouts and relationships just based off of thinking worst case scenario. But I'll waste the whole night or the whole day or the whole whatever just thinking, oh yeah, the police, like I said, the police about to bust through the door, the police about to, or I don't even know why the police is such a big word. I ain't doing nothing illegal. But like I said, thinking like dude gonna jump off the table, do a flying kick flip and kick dude in the back of the head. Like, why am I thinking these things, bro? I be thinking these crazy over the top scenarios. It don't even be realistic. Like, it don't even be realistic. Okay, this might happen. It's different. It's different just being like, okay, this might happen if I go do this. Having realistic thoughts about what might happen if you do something. I feel like that's a bit different. But I'm going into, like I said, every situation just thinking, oh yeah, I might get stabbed in the back of the neck off while going to do this. I'm thinking while I'm standing, I might be standing in the grocery store line. And I guess because I done spent so much time on social media, so much time sitting around people who, kind of talking worst case scenarios, we call it dark humor. But in a sense, that's kind of ruining humor. If we're having dark jokes, then like, I don't know, bro. Dark humor sometimes it's hardly ever really funny. It's really hardly ever funny, and I guess that's a part of like why I think that, because I was one of those people who thought like, oh yeah, I just got dark humor, ha 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 ha. But really, what joke? Where's the joke in dark humor? Like, things that I would joke about in high school. Like, looking back at it now, it's like, bro, why are you joking about that? Like, you feel me? Somebody's genuinely affected by that, and that, I mean, of course, that's what a lot of jokes. Humor is subjective, but it's just like with dark humor, it's like somebody's genuinely affected by that. A bunch of people are possibly genuinely affected by whatever you're joking about, and you're over here kiki ha ha and things like that. And I'm not saying I got the best humor of all time or nothing like that, but it's just like now I had to realize that. Of course, in high school I wasn't thinking that. I guess it's just out of high school thinking. Now I'm out of high school. I'm just kind of learning this. I've had a lot of time to sit back and think about things I've done, ways I act, and stuff like that. And I guess that's what I've been coming to terms with since I graduated. Like, a lot of the things that a lot of the ways I acted and thought from being younger up until now aren't gonna get me the places I truly want to be. It's not gonna get me the things that I want. You know, I can't think the way that I've been thinking. If I want to achieve the things that I want to achieve, I have to come at things with a new perspective, a new way, like just a new perspective, a new way of thinking, a new outlook. You know, sometimes